I got nothing to say. I'll start with questions.
Eli, a week or so into camp, do you think it's fair to say that this is the most options you've had on the team in Missouri, like the most
Competitive depth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got a lot of competitive depth. I think there's fluidity in the depth chart, which is because of competition, and that's the best motivator there is. Whether your guys coming back or there's guys trying to earn a position, they know every day you got to be at your best because there is quality depth at every position. I mean, I look at the punt position today, and we're punting the crud out of the ball. Luke Bauer's giving Riley everything he's got. Riley has a bad punt, and Luke takes advantage of it. So, that's what it's supposed to be. That way there's every day there's great focus, and you don't have lulls in practice or guys coasting. If you coast, there's old Bobby Knight. I think he says it a little differently than I'm gonna say it, but meets bench tells butt tells brain change. So utilizing that, and I think it's been helpful for everybody.
Eli, what you seen when Joe Moore was in the portal? What you see in him? You obviously had a knee.
Yeah.
Edge, and then what have you seen since he's been in the portal?
Yeah, Joe is grown tremendously. We saw on tape pass rush ability, a guy who would create pressure and was very effective for Arizona State in some difficult situations and challenges. A guy who competed hard all the time. Since Joe's been here, he's gained weight, put on muscle mass, has been able to really work on his endurance. I think a lot of things we do different here. We do a lot of things different, and I think sometimes he's like, "Oh my gosh, what are we doing?" But I think it's been really good for him. He's really responded. I mean, he's a guy that had an outstanding summer, and you can see it out there. I mean, he's got definition in his biceps, and he looks like an SEC defensive end, and he's got to continue just to stick to the process. I just told the team, whether you had a great day or a bad day, you got to go back into the film room and go to work. Otherwise, football will humble you.
Eli, from what you've seen of Chris Eblum's strain and Drake Stroke taking another step forward this year?
I think Ennis is a young man who's really continued to grow and mature, and I'm very proud of him. Not only does he have a 4.0 GPA, he does a lot of community service, and he's very competitive. And he's come back and gained weight. He's weighing the most that he's ever weighed. He's put on good weight. He competes hard. We got a hustle tape that we show it on team meetings, and he's always on it. So I've been very impressed, and I think he's got really good competition. Iron sharpens iron. Every day him versus Theo Weiss is a real battle, and that's been really good for both sides. And I've been very. It's always fun and competitive to watch. KAD changed his number from 14 to 17, but he's the same player. Great kid. He's getting more and more as a communicator. First play of field goal block. I mean, he is right there fixing to block it. I mean, he's always trying to improve, and very proud of him too. Another guy that's benefiting greatly from the competition that one-on-ones. Today we did a stock and stutter drill. Those are very competitive because of the competitive depth in the wide receiver room.
Eli, as you assess the quarterback position, how do you feel like Brady Cook has kind of managed and transitioned from the injury to the first week here?
Yeah, I think he's done. He's picked up where he left off. I think the first day of Skelly was a little fast for him, but he's settled in. But everybody's had different plays where they've looked really good and different plays where they got to go back and correct it, whether it's throwing a touchdown today or whether it's on first down taking a sack. I mean, both of those plays have got to be consistent, and so whether we're talking about, Jake Garcia keeping his feet steady in the pocket, or we're talking about Sam Horn understanding pre-snap movements, or we're talking about Brady being first down efficient, disciplined, Dylan Leibel being better communicator. Everybody's got room to improve, and everybody has shown growth over the summer.
Coach, you talked about, I believe, before camp that receivers need to do a better job at blocking on the perimeter.
Yeah.
Which receivers have kind of stood out?
None of them. It's still a really it's embarrassing for me right now, to be honest. That room has got to be better and take more pride in blocking on the perimeter. and no block, no rock. I mean, it's not even near what the standard should be, and I'm not pleased with it at all in any shape, form, or fashion.
Eli, quite a few guys told me they've been impressed with Theo Jaden Jernigan said obviously knows him well, so he's pretty electric. What did you like about Theo? Bringing him here, what did you like to see so far?
Yeah, I think I think when Theo first got here, I think there was a lot of wanting to prove himself immediately, and sometimes that leads to a pressure and maybe anxiety of performance. Performance anxiety, and he is really just gone to work. And I told him the first day, I think it was either day one or day two, he got player of the day, and I said I loved it because I didn't hear him all day. I just saw him making plays, and he's really matured. Now he's back to talking, but he's backing it up good. So very impressed. Doesn't surprise me. Jaden Jernigan's a big Allen promoter, so anybody from Allen, Jaden's going to be all supportive of, but he's rightfully so far. But we're only into day 5, so a lot of work to be done.
Any thoughts or feelings about the current direction of college football right now with everything that happened yesterday?
I was really hoping nobody would ask me that question.
Sorry, had to do it.
All right, I'm going to say it. I thought the transfer window, I thought the portal was closed. That's just for the student athletes. The adults in the room get to do whatever they want, apparently. And it's, it's just sad that there's, look, my question is, did we count the cost? I'm not talking about a financial cost. I'm talking about, did we count the cost for the student athletes involved in this decision? What cost is it to those student athletes? We're talking about a football decision. They based off football, but what about softball and baseball who have to travel cross country? Do we ask about the cost to them? Do we know what the number one indicator of symptom or cause of mental health is? It's lack of rest and sleep. Traveling in those baseball, softball games, those people, they travel commercial. They get done playing at 4. They got to go to the airport. They come back. It's 3 or 4 in the morning. They got to go to class. I mean, did we ask any of them? Are we going to look back? I don't worry at all about the game. The game is going to be strong. Football is going to be fine. We'll all figure it out. But did we consider the people that we are entrusted with? Did we consider the student athlete? Because then we're asking them to go out on their own to get NIL. We didn't say we're going to revenue share. We're not saying they're getting a piece of it. So that's the thing that's bothering me right now in this whole situation is we keep trying to limit what the student athlete can do, but then we act on our own. And everybody's got their own reasons, and I'm not questioning any of those. I'm saying as a collective group, have we asked ourselves, what's it going to cost the student athletes? I saw on Twitter several student athletes talking about one of the reasons they chose their school was so that their parents didn't have to travel. They chose a local school so that they could be regionally associated so their parents could watch them play and not have to travel. Did we ask them if they wanted to travel from the East Coast to the West Coast? Man, I love the game, but every game that I coach, I look up in the stands and find my family. I make sure they can play. I make sure they can be there because that's what I'm doing this for. And you're talking about volleyball, baseball, softball, track. I mean, all those other sports, man, they're not fortunate to travel like the way we do. Football will be fine. Football will be fine. Still, we count the cost of the collateral damage of everybody else. I don't know. Only time will tell, but that is my biggest, looking at it going 24 hours after, say, did we really think about that? I don't think we did.
Along those lines, a lot of people are connecting dots, thinking the future of this could be just 2 or 3 leagues, kind of being separate from everything else. You're a member of one of those now, and you spend a lot of time, maybe not in those leagues. Would that be negative, positive for college football?
Yeah, you know what I'm going to say on that is, like, I answered that question because that's not a hypothetical. That's real, and I had real feelings on that. That would be a hypothetical that affects nothing about my season this year. And I really know what the schedule is this year. I know what the SEC is, so I'm fine on that aspect of it. I've got no real ideas or assumptions on the future of college football. I feel confident that we're going to play in about 3.5 weeks, and I got a lot of work to do on that. So I'll defer on that question.
Coach D-Rob is supposed to have some type of like book bag drive or something later
Mhm.
on today. How have you seen him develop, as a young man since he got here, or since you got here?
I mean, I think that goes to just the awesomeness of NIL, maturity, and giving back. He's been blessed to be able to come back this season and receive NIL, but instead of just being selfish with it, man, he's giving back to the community and using his name, image, and likeness in a positive way, and that's so awesome to see. I mean, that's what this thing is supposed to be about, and him finding time in fall camp that's really busy, managing that window. I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of all of our guys, but to do that is such a positive thing, to be a positive role model. Coach Malzahn used to always teach us, use your influence in a positive way, and I'm really proud of him doing that, and I know Coach would be proud of us still using that motto.
Eli, first week with Coach Jones, working with the offensive line, has anything stood out to you this week at all?
Yeah, a lot of improvement. I think that's been the biggest key for us. Is there's been a whole lot of improvement on the offensive line. I think I've been really impressed with the way Connor Tollison has attacked this camp. He looks like he's having fun again. He's enjoying running the show and competing, and been very impressed with the way he's continued to attack. But we're still 5 days in. And I think there's a lot of guys really competing for jobs, and they know that the best 5 are going to play, and I think they're anxious. They have definitely been putting in the work. And that has been really fun to see those guys being rewarded. Making inside run has been fun again. Because it's real competitive. The defense will stuff us a couple plays, and then we'll bust through on a hole, and it's been a lot of fun to see.
Anything else?
All right,
Thanks, Ed.
there you go.